Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here for something a little bit different. Now as you guys are probably aware, Formula 1 has recently had its new generation changes. Nothing particularly too major, obviously just a few aesthetic changes as well as a little bit less downforce on the front wings. Mainly have been the changes as we come into 2019, as well as a little bit more dramatically the new Formula E Gen 2 regulations. Now obviously both of these new cars have come into effect within sort of the last 6 months. Say obviously the Formula E season began way back in December, if I'm not mistaken. And I was intrigued to see, how different in pace these two types of cars really were nowadays. Obviously with the new regulations, the Formula E cars are certainly getting quicker. The F1 cars are staying, about the same sort of pace they have been over the last couple of seasons as well. So yeah, I was really excited to try and do a bit of a comparison between these two cars as well. Obviously, I will leave links to both of these mods. They are both paid mods. They're about £3.50 each, but certainly if you've got a set, of course, I would really recommend having a look into them, even if it's just one or both. Obviously, the first one, the Formula 1 2019 car, has been done by RSS Studios. They are basically known for being some of the best modders on Assetto Corsa. They've made some absolutely fantastic mods in the past. They also have a pack with this and the new Formula 2 regs car as well that I would highly recommend having a look into if you haven't already. And the Formula E car is done by VRC modding team as well, another team that I would highly recommend having a look into as well. They do have a few free mods as well as a few paid ones. And yeah, like I said, the Formula E mod is a paid one. Formula Lithium, if I'm not mistaken, it is called on their service. But yeah, I'm going to basically show you guys the hot laps of one of each. First of all, obviously, around the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. First of all, obviously, we'll have the RSS 2019 car, as you can see in the background currently, and then we will move over to the Formula E car, and then we'll have a side-by-side comparison so you guys can check them both out as well. Obviously, if you guys do like this sort of video, let me know what other comparisons you'd like to see me make in the future. It doesn't even have to be particularly realistic. I'd love to try and do, like the Red Bull X 2010, for example, or something a bit crazy like that. Certainly is a possibility, hopefully, down the line as well. I'm not the best sim racer in the world. I think you guys should all be well aware of that at this point. Both laps are done on completely default settings, so obviously things like the MGU, H and K aren't exactly harvesting and deploying as, at their full abilities. There's certainly a lot more time to find on both of these laps just through that as well. But first of all, then, the RSS 2019 car feels absolutely incredible, like you'd expect, for those of you that have ever messed around with an RSS mod before. It's absolutely incredible. It's got a little bit more, I'd say. Obviously, I think a lot of people have said this in recent weeks. The RSS 2019 car builds upon, a really strong foundation from the 2018 and 17 counterparts, and this one just feels a little bit more alive, a little bit extra on edge, and when you get it right, it is really satisfying. Obviously, taking it around a track like Spa, you really do get to feel, absolutely everything. Push a car to its absolute limits as well, and it is so satisfying when you do get it right around here as well in this car. Breaking down in towards the bus stop chicane, obviously, although it's a 7-kilometre track, you still get around here pretty quickly on the whole, and out of the final corner. I think this lap was about a 1 minute 48.5, so certainly nothing to compare with the IRL times, but as I said, this was just on the standard MGU modes as well. I think we barely burned through any, well, I say used up any of the ERS on that lap. And then we move over to the Formula E Gen 2, otherwise known as the Formula Lithium, from VRC modding team. And VRC isn't as well a renowned sort of company in terms of mods for Assetto Corsa, but still I reckon they're quite underrated as well. RSS are like the big dogs. They're the guys that when a new mod comes out, everyone wants to get on top of it, make videos on it and everything like that, and I don't blame people for that. But VRC, I think, are quite underrated. A lot of their mods are very high quality. They've certainly made, some really solid mods in the last couple of years. They've got a fantastic lineup on their site, are both paid, and there are quite a few free mods on there as well. I think they've got some classic F1 cars, the 1991 Benetton and things like that as well, that I would highly recommend having a look into as well. Obviously, but yeah, this car, once again, like I said, is on absolute baseline setup, and it's very satisfying to drive. It's actually a little bit more difficult than honestly I was expecting in some ways. It's very easy to pinch the front tyres. Now, pretty much everything else obviously is very controllable. I'm sure with a few setup changes, the only real issues that I was having as well could be very easily be sorted. I was having actually a couple of braking issues down in towards the bus stop chicane, actually going through the corner of spot, and the rear of the car would bottom out, and therefore you'd lose all, you know, the car would flat bottom out, and then you just drop the rear end, which is a little bit frustrating from time to time. But, you know, so on this lap I have to take a little bit of a wider line through the corner as well. But yeah, like I said, with some subtle setup changes, I'm sure everything like that could be sorted as well. But yeah, in terms of this car as well, I've actually, you know, I've sort of had a little bit of a look, and I'm really tempted to do like a mini sort of 5-round series with this car. Now, I am planning to do sort of a proper Formula E style series on R Factor when they bring out their official Gen 2 car as well. But on the lead up to that, you know, potentially whilst we wait, I would quite like to do, you know, a Formula E meets F1 circuits kind of 5-round mini series. I've got a few things planned for that, so obviously if you guys would be interested in seeing that, I would highly recommend, you know, leaving it down in the comments. Let me know if that'd be something you guys would be interested in as well. But yeah, coming through the bus stop chicane then to finish off this lap, and it's going to be about a 2:22 if I'm not mistaken as well. That's about 34 seconds. Sorry, no, about 2:20 even, I should say. So about, yeah, 32 seconds of the Formula 1 car there, which actually, when you think about it, is not bad going for a car with obviously so much less power as well. Obviously now on your screens will be a side-by-side comparison, and you sort of get a look at how far ahead obviously the RSS Formula car from 2019 does pull away as well. Safe to say, you know, the Formula E car, certainly people like to complain that Formula 1 isn't very loud anymore. It certainly still absolutely destroys the Formula Lithium in terms of audio sound, as well. You know, in terms of just pure volume. I think it's always quite difficult to make, you know, make an electric car sound particularly good. Obviously, they just don't really have much character in that department, and that is, you know, nothing against VRC. You know, I think they've actually done quite a good job with it on the whole, and obviously everyone likes to live in the past with the nostalgia of roaring V10s and everything like that. And I think a lot of very well-made sounds on mods nowadays, sadly, you know, just get pushed to the side because sadly you can't make them sound like a screaming V10, or you could, but it would just be a little bit unrealistic. Well, I say a little bit very unrealistic nowadays as well. But you can see already we're about halfway around the lap there or thereabouts, a little bit over with the RSS, a little bit under with the Formula E car. And really, you know, it is a lot of it just, I mean, obviously Spa's quite a high-speed track anyway, and the Formula E car never quite gets to the speed, you know, that the F1 car can take through the corners. But a lot of it is really, you know, just that extra power. I mean, these things feel, you know, both very responsive on turning. I'd actually say because of the less speed, you can actually brake a little bit later in the Formula E car as well. But still, you know, both cars absolutely on the limit, absolutely mind-blowing as well, just in two very different ways. You know, I'd love to see Formula E try to pick up the pace a bit more. You know, realistically, I think the series could probably be a lot more successful if they were around a track like this, you know, sort of a good 10-15 seconds faster, if that's really doable. I know that sounds like quite a lot, but I mean, the Formula 1 car, like I said, is a good, you know, 30 seconds faster, so if they can sort of halve that gap as well, I think, you know, they can make the sport a whole lot more exciting. Although it must be said, this season so far has been absolutely phenomenal nonetheless as well. Yeah, coming down in towards the final couple of corners of the lap, I've still got the RSS lap running in the background as well, just so you can sort of get a bit of a direct comparison. You can see it's already come towards the end of the Camel Straight as the Formula Lithium car gets over the line as well there. So it really does go to show, you know, just how far ahead the Formula, you know, the Formula 1 cars really are still ahead of the Formula E cars on the whole as well there. But yeah, like I said, hopefully, you know, you guys have enjoyed this video. Something a bit different that I really wanted to make. You know, I've sort of seen a couple of these videos around in the past, not with these two cars, I must say. So I thought, you know, I wanted to try and make a bit of a comparison for you guys as well. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, you guys have enjoyed this video. Get yourself subscribed if you're new around here as well, and you do want to see more videos from this sort of thing. You know, let me know as well down in the comments if you've ever seen some mods that you'd like to see compared. You know, let me know. Leave them down in the comments, obviously. I'll obviously try and make sure I try and get back to you, as many of you as I possibly can as well. You know, I've got plenty of plans, you know, for this sort of thing, if the support is there, if it's something that you guys want to see as well. So yeah, hopefully, like I said, you guys have enjoyed. Like I said, all the mod links will be down in the description below as well. Make sure you go check them out. I would highly recommend doing so. You know, none of this was sort of sponsored or anything like that, as you'd probably come to expect at this point as well. You know, both of these cars I did pay for with my own money, and I certainly have no regrets on the whole as well. But yeah, that'll be it from me for this one. Like I said, hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and I will hopefully see you guys next time for another video.